Some of us arrive in this world cradled by warmth, embraced by love and nurtured by care. But others are born into fire, into families where silence speaks louder than words, where love must be earned, and where chaos or quiet despair is the foundation of the home. If you've ever felt like a stranger in your own family, questioning your place and wondering, why me? Know this. You are not broken, you are not cursed, you are chosen. The soul, as Carl Jung believed, does not choose safety. It chooses growth. And sometimes growth requires discomfort, disconnection, and even exile. Those who carry a different frequency, the black sheep, the cycle breakers, the highly sensitive, are often born into families that cannot understand them, not because they are unworthy, but because they are meant to transform the very absence of love into something healing. This isn't punishment. This is initiation, a sacred call disguised as pain. And in that very discomfort, your soul begins its journey. The soul doesn't grow in comfort, it grows in friction. Jung taught that we are born into family complexes, emotional blueprints built from the unresolved traumas and beliefs of those who came before us. These patterns shape us without our awareness, handing us silent roles, the caretaker, the invisible one, the scapegoat. But every so often, a different soul is born into this lineage, a soul that begins to question the script. This is where individuation, the process of becoming your true self, begins. It's messy, it's painful, and it often starts with the deep, cutting awareness that you don't belong. The wound of not being truly seen by those closest to you is not an accident. It is a doorway. The pain conceals the path your soul came to walk, and in walking it, you don't just heal yourself. You become the beginning of healing for generations. Some families pass down heirlooms. Others pass down silence, shame, and the art of pretending. You may have grown up in a home where the most important rule was to never name what hurts. You were told, don't cry, don't question, don't speak unless spoken to. And yet something in you refused. You felt the unspoken grief. You sensed the quiet rage. You noticed how love came with conditions. Perhaps you spent years wondering what was wrong with you, why you felt like an outsider in your own home. The truth is, you were not broken. You were awake. You weren't here to repeat the story. You were here to end it, to be the first breath of fresh air in a lineage suffocating in denial. This is sacred work. You are not the broken branch. You are the root of something new. Not all gifts come wrapped in kindness. Some arrive as wounds, sharp, invisible, and sacred. Somewhere along the way you were told you were too much, too sensitive, too emotional, too intense, or not enough. And so you learned to hide, to shrink, to become what others needed, even if it meant abandoning yourself. Carl Jung called this the sacred wound, a rupture that doesn't just hurt but opens. In that opening, something stirs, the true self. The child who watched quietly, who sensed danger in the air, who knew how to read every unspoken word. That child wasn't fragile. That child was becoming wise. The sacred wound is not asking you to become hard. It's asking you to soften into your truth. The pain, when faced, becomes power. Your sensitivity is not your curse. It is your compass. In homes where silence was survival, you noticed everything. The subtle energy shifts, the false smiles, the manipulation. Perhaps you were told you were too sensitive or suspicious, but your perception was never wrong. Some souls, Jung believed, are born as seers. They come to shine light on what others hide. In toxic families, this gift is dangerous because truth threatens the entire structure of denial. When you named what no one else would, when you pointed to the shadows, you became the threat. But you weren't born to play along. You were born to wake up. And through your awareness, you become the mirror others avoid, but desperately need. You won't always be thanked. But your path was never about approval. It was about truth. Jung once said, "The greatest influence on a child is the unlived life of the parent." So many of us carry the weight of dreams abandoned, emotions suppressed, and truths denied by those who raised us. The unlived life casts a long shadow. And yet, sometimes the child grows beyond the limits of the lineage. Sometimes you are born not to fix your family, not to carry their burdens, but to show what it means to heal. Not by changing them, but by becoming fully, authentically yourself. Your growth ripples backward and forward. One person's awakening can shift an entire lineage. You may not see the results immediately, and not everyone will understand. But the seed of change has been planted. You are that seed. Your choice to heal is not just personal, it is revolutionary. When you face your sacred wound, when you walk the path of individuation, you transform not just yourself, but the story of your ancestors and descendants. The unfinished stories, the losses, the silences, the traumas, they live in you. And through your courage to face them, they begin to shift. You become the beacon, the mirror, the living proof that transformation is possible. So if you have ever questioned your place, doubted your worth, or felt like a misfit in your own family, remember, you are not a mistake. You are the sacred plan unfolding. You are the light returning home. Take a deep breath. Place your hand over your heart. Say quietly, I was not born into pain to stay broken. I was born into pain to awaken. And with every step forward, every truth spoken, every wound faced, you become the living gift that changes everything. This is how the chosen ones rise. Not with noise, not with fanfare, but quietly, steadily from within.